I'm not crazy. I know everyone says that when they tell a story like this, but I swear to God, I'm not crazy. I'm not sleep deprived. I don't take meds. I don't drink. I'm just scared, and I haven't slept more than 2 hours at a time in weeks. It started in March, just after I moved into my new apartment in Chicago. I was so excited. First place on my own. Tiny, sure, one-bedroom walk-up, creaky floors, ancient appliances. But it was mine. My apartment's on the 3rd floor of a 5-story building. I work remotely as a graphic designer, so I spend a lot of time at home. The place above me was empty when I moved in. The leasing office told me it was being renovated and wouldn't be rented until summer. That's what makes what happened next so messed up. The first night I noticed something, it was around 3 a.m. I was lying in bed when I heard footsteps upstairs. Not just the occasional creak. No, someone was walking back and forth, pacing. Heavy, deliberate step. I remember staring at the ceiling, waiting for it to stop. But it didn't. I figured maybe they started renting it out without telling me. Maybe a construction worker was there late. Whatever. I put in earbuds and tried to ignore it. But it kept happening. Every night, like clockwork. Between 2 and 4 a.m., the footsteps would start. Sometimes I heard furniture dragging. Once, I could swear I heard humming. So I went to the leasing office. They told me flat out that the unit above me was still unoccupied. No one had the keys. No contractor scheduled. Nothing. I must have looked pale or something because the receptionist got real quiet and then said, "Weird." A few people in that unit before complained of noises too. That's when I started recording. I set up my phone to record audio while I slept. The first night it caught the footsteps, slow, rhythmic, moving from one end of the ceiling to the other. Then, a scraping sound. Then, whispering. Barely audible, but definitely whispering. I posted a clip to Reddit. People said maybe the building was old, settling. One person said I probably had raccoons. Raccoons don't whisper my name. Yeah. On the 3rd night of recording, you can hear it. Very faint. Like someone standing right above my bed. Emily, I freaked out. I didn't sleep that night. I turned on all the lights and sat in the bathtub with a knife. I called the cops in the morning, and when they showed up, they were polite but clearly thought I was exaggerating. Still, one of them agreed to go upstairs. He came back down after 5 minutes, said the door was padlocked from the outside. He couldn't get in. He also said it was freezing cold up there, like colder than it should have been for an indoor unit. He told me to let the building handle it, but that night, something changed. The ceiling knocked back, like someone was answering me. I tapped 3 times on the ceiling with a broomstick. There was a pause and then 3 taps back. It knew I was there. I slept in my friend Tara's apartment for a few nights after that. She lives on the 1st floor. I didn't hear anything there. No footsteps, no whispering. It was the first time I'd slept through the night in weeks. But when I came back home to grab clothes, I found a note under my door. "Why did you leave me alone?" No signature, just that. I called Tara, shaking, and she told me to come back, but I felt this awful pull to go upstairs. Like, if I didn't check, something worse would happen. So I went to the leasing office again, begged them to unlock the upstairs unit. They said no. Liability reasons. So I broke in. I know, stupid, but I couldn't help it. The lock was older than it looked. I pried it open with a crowbar I borrowed from the janitor's closet. Inside, dust, plastic sheets, some old furniture under tarps, and a mattress in the center of the room. Just the mattress, no bed frame. And on the mattress, hair. A pile of long black hair. And a photo of me, sleeping. I ran. Didn't stop. Didn't look back. I called the police from the sidewalk. This time, they took it seriously. The whole floor got searched. They found hidden wiring, a hole in the wall that looked into my apartment through the vent. Someone had been watching me, but they never found who. No fingerprints, no trace. The building let me out of my lease. I moved back to my parents' place in Minnesota. But sometimes, even now, I'll wake up at exactly 3 and I'll hear it again. Emily. I don't even know why I'm writing this. Maybe if I put it down in words, it'll make more sense. Or maybe someone out there has had something similar happen to them. Either way, I need to get it out. This happened in the fall of 2022 in a small town outside of Asheville, North Carolina. I had just moved into this old ranch-style house with my dog Murphy. It was a fixer-upper, cheap, quiet, surrounded by trees. I was planning to do some light renovations and maybe flip it in a year or two. The first couple of weeks were uneventful. I got used to the creaks and groans of an old house settling. Murphy, being a golden retriever and basically afraid of his own shadow, would bark at squirrels and then act like he'd chased off a burglar. But nothing really weird. Until one night. It was maybe 2:30 in the morning when I woke up. I didn't know why at first. No storm, no noise, but Murphy was standing rigid at the bedroom door, ears perked up, growling low. Then I heard it. A dragging sound. Slow. Like something heavy being pulled across a wood floor. I live alone. I grabbed the bat I keep by my bed and quietly made my way through the hallway. The sound was coming from beneath me, the crawl space. I had a flashlight and opened a little hatch in the laundry room. It was pitch black down there, smelled of earth and mildew. I shined the light around. Nothing. Just dirt, insulation, and old pipes. But then the flashlight flickered, and I saw a hand, not moving, just lying there. I jumped back, slammed the hatch shut, and called the sheriff's department. They showed up about 20 minutes later, gave me that skeptical "you probably imagined it" look, until one of the deputies opened the hatch and climbed down. He came back up white as a sheet. They called backup, roped the place off. I wasn't allowed back in for hours. When I was, one of the officers pulled me aside, said they found evidence that someone had been living in the crawl space. Bedding, canned food, water bottles, and a notebook full of writings. Obsessive, paranoid stuff. Pages and pages about me, what I ate, when I slept, who I talked to, what I watched on TV. They never found the guy, just the hand. Turns out it wasn't his. It had been there for months, maybe longer. Every so often, I still get calls from blocked numbers. Silence on the other end. I sold the house, moved back in with my sister in Charlotte. I don't think I'll ever live alone again.